2022. Yes, 2022 Ram 1500 Classic with a 5.7 liter Hemi pushing 375 horsepower and 410 pound-foot of torque. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what our key looks like. It's getting dark, so it's gonna be more of a late night kind of review with a truck like this. And low-key, I like big trucks now, though they may be slightly inconvenient for the regular person, but for me it fills my little heart with joy when I get to drive something this big, this powerful, and this exciting. But let's do a quick little walk around before we get too carried away and it gets too dark. This is how big this monster is. Gigantic 5.7 liter Hemi, 375 horsepower, 410 pound-foot of torque again. And yes, this thing does look good. The night lights, just the road presence this monster tends to have. It's big, it's gigantic, it's as American as you can possibly get. Man, it does sound good. It does sound really good, really. But again, the only big thing, the big problem I have with a truck this big is the gas consumption. And the fact that the dealership decided to put their little logo on it. You can probably see my little brother jumping around in the background. Ignore him, he's excited that we get a truck. Yeah, you can literally see him picking around, ignore that. But anyway guys, this is what our key looks like. Hopping inside, cloth seats all around. Like nothing crazy, very simple and very straightforward. Little like nets or napkin. No cup holder space down here, but if you come all the way here, it's hidden over here. Hopping inside. There we go, hopping inside. You can tell that it's like very simple, like nothing crazy with a truck like this. We have a third seat over here, so it's more of a 6-seater than it is a 5-seater. You have a good 6 inches of screen with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and yes, it is customizable, so you can move stuff around like this. But anyway, putting it in drive, this is what our Prindle looks like. Even though we're low on gas, we still have 85 kilometers left, which is more than enough for this little review. There we go. Little exhaust check while we're at it, because why not? It sounds better when we're on the road, so let's get out of here. Again, the biggest advantage for a truck like this is that low-end torque you're gonna get. And this is going to be the entry-level 5.7 liter Hemi. This is nothing fancy. This is not gonna be the bigger 6.4 or something as big as the Ram TRX. And the thing I love about Ram as a company is that they always go balls to the wall with everything they make. From their trucks to their sports cars, everything of theirs, they just find the biggest engine they can find, strap it inside, under the hood, and call it a day. They don't go fancy with the transmissions. We don't have anything crazy like a dual clutch transmission. It's just a simple 8-speed automatic transmission. And yes, we can use our little buttons over here to change our gear. We're in 3, 2, and back up into 3. Like, it's super simple and very easy to get used to. Like, talk about suspension wise, this is not gonna be as smooth as any German car. Just giving you guys straight, it's not gonna be as smooth as any German car you've ever driven. It's not gonna be as agile as any German car either, because again, this is a giant big truck. This is like a full-size truck by American standards. And if you're curious about our gas mileage, because this is the 5.7 liter Hemi, we are currently doing 16.9 liters for every 100 kilometers, which is kind of outrageous, but it comes with the territory when you decide to have a big 5.7 liter Hemi under the hood. And I'm pretty sure for my European counterparts, you guys don't have anything nearly as big as this. You guys specialize in turbos, and pretty much 4 cylinders. Maybe you guys might have a 6 cylinder here and there, but you guys mostly get turbocharged 4 cylinders. But if you talk about the performance of this one does have the same engine as the 5.7 liter HEMI, the RT that's in the Charger and the Challenger. So yes, you can tune this car if you really want to do. Would I advise that? Probably not. There's really no point in tuning a truck this big and this heavy to make it faster. You can get a faster counterpart, but if you really want to spend money on it, I say go for it. There's really not much you would lose by tuning a vehicle this big. And of course, we don't have adaptive cruise control because it's simple and pretty straightforward. This is not, surprisingly, this is not the base model. The base model have a 3.6 liter V6. And apparently the only issues I hear this truck might potentially have is something called the HEMI tick, where everything will be going perfectly. There's no engine lights, there's nothing going wrong with the CPU, just a little ticking that comes from the engine, and it's apparently predominant in this 5.7 liter Hemis, apparently. But a light little acceleration. Not bad. The thing is, with a truck this big, it does take a second to get up and go. You heard our tires screech just a little bit, but just because of the extra weight this car has, you actually get to put the power down compared to the Dodge Charger and the Challengers, where half the time you're spinning. And I know last time I had a truck similar to this one, I said I'm kind of annoyed that it doesn't have a proper sport mode. Apparently you guys went into my comment section and told me that if I go and put traction control off and put it into tow/haul, it kind of works as a pseudo performance mode, to say the least. I'm not sure, maybe it makes the transmission a little bit more touchy, makes the throttle response a little bit better, but we'll do a quick little 0 to 60. Give this little thing a go. 3, 2, 1. And 100. Not bad. Well, our traction control turned on by itself, so we could have moved a little bit faster, but it's not bad. And even at speeds like this, when you get up to 100, the truck is surprisingly smooth and very stable. You don't feel like you're in something big. Well, you do feel the weight and the power it's trying to put down, but it doesn't feel like I'm struggling that much. The engine's just like, oh, we're trying to get up and going now? Fair enough, let's get up and going. But the biggest thing when you're driving a car this big is that you kind of feel like a bully. Everything around you is smaller than you. Nothing is close to your size except for big semi-trucks like this, but everything else is dwarfed by you. So it does come with a little bit of responsibility of you being nice and being a little bit cautious to those around you and your surroundings, but most of the time people just get out of your way, to be honest. Not bad at all. This is the kind of truck I would see somebody who does construction. That was a deer. That was just a deer. Okay, I think I just caught a glimpse of a deer, but anyway, I'm sure the type of person to be driving this is someone who's going to be in construction or somebody who just hauls a lot of stuff. You can haul your boats, your trailers, carry a lot of people. 6 people at least, 6 full-grown adults, to be fair, because the back seat does have a decent amount of space, to be honest. And I remember one time somebody mentioned before that they want to see the 0 to 60 with 4-wheel drive lock, which, to be honest, is pretty predictable. You just don't have to deal with the tire spin. Yep, that is a deer. That's 2 deer. I didn't expect to see so much deer so close to home. It's weird. Interesting. And yes, if a deer decides to run in front of me, I'm easily gonna survive that encounter. The deer, not so much, because this thing just towers over that deer. Will I get a little bit of damage? Yeah. Will I be able to drive off? Fair enough. Yeah, I'll be able to drive off, no problem. But That acceleration right there just reminded me of the Durango. So they are very similar. If you want to have the same power and performance as a Durango, but you need a little bit more extra space, go with this one. This is honestly not a bad pick. We're gonna do one more quick 0 to 60. We'll do on our cruise control and then we'll call it a day. 3, 2, 1. And 100. And if you're curious about our brakes, we brake really quick. But anyway guys, this has been Morty in the 2022 Ram 1500 Classic with a 5.7 liter Hemi. It's been a pleasure driving this thing, and honestly I would highly recommend somebody test drive this thing and give it a shot. If you're not sure about getting a truck, I would highly recommend you get one. The engine just sounds so good, that's the thing. One more for the last one. Take care guys.